Hey everybody, it's Laura Prather with Jot and Tittle Vintage Typewriters. Welcome to another typewriter tutorial. This one is for a 1958 Royal Futura 800. Here you can take a look at it. This one is in really good condition. It does have a little scratch on the top, which that's going to be typical with vintage typewriters. You will find little nicks and chips here and there. When they are like refurbished or especially restored, those will not be there. You'll have your finish is going to be perfect and beautiful. So be sure to research the differences between a service typewriter, a refurbished, or a restored. I do have some blog posts on my website, and I will try to remember to link those down below. If you're watching this in early October 2024, please check back in about a week or two. I've got multiple blog posts. I'm behind on them. So I've got multiple coming out in the next couple weeks, and that one will definitely be there if it's not already there. I can't remember if I've already put it up or not. Okay, so the Royal Futura is a very fun, a very modern looking typewriter. It comes in multiple colors and two-tone colors. So people like to, there's green and there's blue and there's pink. And then we have the dove gray. Typically the people that are attracted to this Futura 800, I personally have just seen it's the younger people, you know, the kids and teens and young adults. Not that nobody else ever gets them, but I have just noticed those are the ones who gravitate to the Royal Futura 800. And so if you're looking for gift ideas for a younger person, the Futura 800 or probably any of the Futura series would be a really good choice for them. I think just this body style really lights them up. Here's an image of the typeface. You can see there, this is a 10 CPI, which is one of my favorite in terms of, I mean, it's obviously very common. It's easier to read in my personal opinion, but I do enjoy the 12 CPI if I'm doing a lot of work, a lot of writing, just because I don't know, especially if I want that finished look, I really like the 12 CPI. So it's up to you. And that's one thing you can look at and ask when you're purchasing is what is the typeface on it, or at least the size. And they should be able to tell you. Okay, so I am going to do a tutorial, meaning I'm just going to go through and I'm going to assume you don't know anything about typewriters. Maybe you were gifted one and you want to know how to use it. So I'm going to start from the back, work my way forward. It's not going to be super detailed in terms of I'm not going to tell you stuff you need to know for like repairs, just for how to use this. All right, so we're going to start with the back, and back here is our here we go, is our paper holder, which comes in really handy because when you get to the bottom of your paper flops over and this holds it up. That's really nice. You have a plastic guard here, and that's also good. Sometimes you want to write a note on your paper or make a correction, and that plastic guard comes in handy. This is the carriage, and the carriage holds the paper. It can move back and forth. To move the carriage, there's a metal lever right behind the roller handles. Doesn't matter which side, you just pick one or pick both, and it'll pull to the left. And if your carriage doesn't ever pull to the left, that means your drawband is broken, and you will need a professional repair person to help you with that. So it should have tension that pulls to the left. I'm going to bring it in, and you can hear the bell. The bell will ding within a couple characters before your margin. And on this one, to set your margin, the Royal Company came out with what is called magic margin, and they're the red buttons right here, okay? So to set your left margin, right now I have it set right here, so I'm going to press it down, and while I'm holding it down, move the carriage more to the left. Actually, I push the carriage to the right, but then the the cursor goes to the left, and then release. And now it's set. Okay. And then if I want to go in, I move the carriage to where I want it and then just press it. You'll hear that click, and that kind of lets you know, okay, the left margin has been set. Same thing with the right margin. Go over here. I have it set right there, but I want to come out this way. So I'm going with the carriage going that way, but anyway, you press the right margin down, release your carriage and move it to where you want and let go. Same thing if you want to go inside, you just tap the carriage to where you want it, hit that, and the bell should ding. No, it didn't. Most typewriter, there we go. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. The bell should ding when you set the right margin, just letting you know that's where it's set. So now the carriage will only move as far as you have the margins set. Okay, on the right side, you have a silver lever right here, and you pull that forward, and that is your paper release. So when you're loading your paper, which you'll load it right behind the roller here, and I bring it up until the bottom and the top meet, and I can tell it's just a hair off. So I'm going to pull that paper release forward, adjust my paper, and then re-engage it. On the left side, you see a 1, 2, and a 3. When you hit the return handle, this is your return handle right here. It's going to take you to the front, the beginning of the line, plus it's going to advance a line, and it's going to advance either 1, 2, or 3 spaces. So here's double, and here's triple. Okay, and the reason you would want to use double or triple, let's say you are writing a first draft of a book and you want space to take notes in between those lines, that comes in really handy. Okay, and then you might ask, well, what's this lever right here? Well, this kind of releases the rollers. Some people call it variable spacing, and the way that works is when you listen, when I turn the roller, you'll hear the click. Okay, so that's clicking like either every half a line or single line, but sometimes you want to kind of go right in between that. And let's say you're using lined paper and you want it to line up just right. Pull that forward, get your paper exactly where you want, and then re-engage it. So that's what this lever is for. Okay, so now I'm going to move the carriage to the left. And the reason I'm going to do that is I want to make sure my handle is clear of my cover. That is how a lot of covers get scratched, is from the handle, because that cover is going to come up so that we can access the interior. On this typewriter, you are not going to pull on that cover at all. You're just going to press the Royal logo. That's going to pop open. Now, if your cover won't stay shut, here's this little piece right here. Let me lift it up. Right there, sticking up, that has been bent back, and you're going to want to kind of bend it forward so that it'll catch that lip. Okay, so once we're on the inside, you'll see this is called the touch control. That determines how hard these type bars, here, this is your type bars, strike your paper. This is your color selector. Right now it's on red. I can move, not red, black. Now I can move it down. It's on red. Here's your spools. Rob has put some metal spools in this one, but you can use plastic universal ribbon spools as well. We do have videos to show you how to change out your ribbon. So check the links below for how to do that, or search our playlist for changing ribbons. This is called your ribbon vibrator, and that is where you thread your ribbon through. Now, let's see which direction we're going. We're going this way here. Once you get to the end of your spool, using up all that ribbon, it's going to stop on you, and the font's going to get really faint, or your keys are just going to stop working. You're going to think your typewriter's frozen up. Don't panic. Just reverse the direction of your ribbon. Right here, there is a little metal lever with kind of a round top. It's sticking up above the touch control. and you're just going to want to click that. And now we're going to go the opposite direction, use up the ink, click it again, and go back this direction. Your ribbon is going to last you a long time. You can re-ink the ribbons if you want. That's just really, really messy. Or you can purchase more ribbons. On our website, we have them, but they are very common to find. You just need to use a universal ribbon. Okay, so we're going to close that. Let's move on to setting our tabs. So right down here, you'll see a button, tab clear, tab set, and then the tab key. So right now, I've got a couple, looks like I have several tabs set. I want to clear all of those tabs at once. So I am going to hold down my clear tab while releasing my carriage. I like to go a couple times. That's just me. I'm going to release that and it should clear all of them. And so let me press the tab and it did. I sometimes put my hand out here because when that tab releases, this carriage can fling pretty hard. So that's also a warning. Make sure you don't have any coffee mugs or glasses or anything nearby because it's going to get flung across the table or broken if your carriage happens to bump into it. All right, and then to set, put your just space or move your carriage to wherever you want it. Let's say right here, and then hit tab set. And then let's test it. And the tab is set. So that is how you set your tabs. Okay, coming down to your keys, you have your backspace, which does not erase. It's not a delete key, it just backspaces. You have your tabs, which we just did. The margin release, I talked about how we get to the margin and your typewriter is going to stop when you reach that margin. But if you happen to be in the middle of a word, okay, it stopped on me and I need to finish my word. I'm going to hit margin release, finish my word, and then I can go to the next line. Here's your shift, either side. The little one that doesn't have anything on it is your shift lock. So you just press that down. It's gonna, that way you can type in all caps or you can use your symbols. And one of the things that I still make mistakes, because on computers, when you use your caps lock, you can still type numbers. But with typewriters, that's not the case. So if like you're typing a year and you're in all caps, you're going to have a bunch of symbols for where your numbers are supposed to be, and it can get very frustrating. So try to remember that. I do it all the time. Your numbers are lowercase and your symbols are the caps lock. So that is the basics of how to use a Royal Futura 800. I think all typewriters are wonderful, including this one. These tend to be a little more affordable than some of the more collectible. I don't know, they're all great, but there are certain styles of typewriters that people really like and are at a higher price point. The Futuras tend to stay at the lower price range. For those that are serviced, like for us, you can usually find them in the mid 200s up to 300 or low 300s. That is just for serviced. When you get into refurbished and restored, you're going to pay more money. But as compared to like a Smith Corona Sterling or Standard, I would say this is probably about $75 to $100 cheaper than one of those. But it's still a great typewriter. But again, it has a much more youthful feel. That's not bad. It's just what you prefer. So if you are looking for a present for kids or a young adult or somebody who has a very youthful personality, this would probably be a typewriter that they would enjoy immensely. All right, thanks so much for watching and for supporting our channel. Remember to give us a thumbs up and happy typing.